So growing up, I was always the shy kid. I was always the one who was trying to make the most friends as possible, and that energy kind of pushed everyone away. But I found that I had to put my own energy into the friendship in order for it to survive. You can already imagine me being like this shy, innocent kid that's kind of like childish, laughs at every single joke that you say that kind of isn't even funny, but I still laugh. And this led me to hang out with some questionable people just to get that feeling of validation that I do have friends. Now this was kind of weird because my older brother always had friends. He always used to hang out with his mates, right? And I look up to that and I want to be just like him. I wanted to have all these friends, right? But the friends that he had that were kind of low quality, and I didn't realize this up until a few years ago. Because you see, all of his friends were like degenerates and they would always cause trouble in the class. And I thought that is what you should do if you want to have friends. I created kind of like this fake persona of being like the school bad boy, like the school class clown, trying to make everyone laugh and disrespecting the teachers just to get some type of validation from my friends. And this would lead me to slack on my grades, my true meaningful relationships with my family, and worst of all, I was just inauthentic. I wasn't my true self. My whole life I've struggled with finding true friends. I was always like the shy kid at the back of the class, always like trying to mind my own business, and that was my true self. That was who I actually am. My real authentic self was the person who was just minding his own business at the back of the class, wanting to get ahead, like grade wise. But then every time I would see my friends like laughing and hanging out by themselves, I'd kind of get jealous, and then I'd go back to this loop of trying to get their validation and slacking on my grades. And I wish I could tell you that I had mastered this right then and there, that I just realized that, you know what, I realized my behavior, I realized this pattern, and I'm gonna try and change it. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. It got worse because every time I got a little bit of validation, that would cause me to crave it even more. So this led on for quite some more time. Quite a few more years later, I found myself with friends that I absolutely cannot relate to. And the only reason I would spend time with these people is because I would get that little bit of satisfaction, that little bit of validation that I'm just not like this loner. But the real me enjoys being alone because he likes learning new things. He likes getting better at one thing. And that just takes some alone time sometimes, right? But this fake persona of myself attracted more bad influences into my life, which led me to do some questionable things in my life. And only about 3 years ago, when I've discovered this whole self-improvement space, and when I've got engaged into this self-improvement space through different Discord servers, Reddit communities, and all these different online spaces, right? That's when I got addicted to it. And only then was I really discovering my true self, my true authentic self. So then it kind of turned into this thing where when I would step outside of my house, I would put on my fake persona and try to get this fake validation from my fake friends. And then I would come back home and I would study self-improvement, which was the real authentic me. So I had like this two-face identity, and I knew that this fake identity wasn't the real me. I knew that right around that time, but I just couldn't get away from that validation. Because the real thing that was stopping me from continuing on my self-improvement journey was the fact that I had this fake persona. That I wasn't putting my all into myself. I wasn't investing all of my free time into myself. I was investing all my free time into people that don't really give a fuck about me. And I just wanted their validation of not being alone. So now that I think about this whole situation, I know where this feeling came from. I know where this feeling of loneliness came from. It came from my childhood. The fact that I was always the silent kid at the back of the class just minding his own business, and then seeing other people have fun, having a good time, just laughing, making banter, right? And this jealousy turned into like a trauma, right? This black hole, you just try to keep filling it, but it's never filled, right? Maybe only for a few moments, but then it becomes empty again. So that's exactly where this feeling came from this third eye perspective, looking back at it now. So how do you know that your friends are actually real? That they're not fake, that they're not only there just to party with you, have laughs with you, and not really take your life seriously, to be honest? I'd say this, because back then, all of my past friends, they would get together, they would party, right? And then they would always talk about the same things. They would always talk about other people. They would always talk about a girl they're trying to pull. They would always talk about like these mundane things that I didn't really care about. You were to get together in a group one day, right? And you would only to talk about things that you are interested in. How would they react? Now, I tried this myself, and I want you to try that for yourself over the next few days, weeks, and even months, right? I want you to talk about only things that you are interested in. And if they bring up some type of topic that they're interested in, fine, but always try to bring back the subject to what you are interested in. So, for an example, around my friends, I'd always talk about crypto investments. I'd always talk about maybe I should start a YouTube channel. I'd always talk about business, making money, going to the gym, learning how to fight. Even back then, I was trying to like master these things because those are the things that like self-improvement taught me to do. Taught me about NoFap, semen retention, monk mode, all these things, right? And as I kept on talking about these things and they kept on changing topic, right? Some of them got interested in the things I was talking about, but most of them were trying to change topic and just go drink or get high, right? And the second thing I did, after I started doing this for a few days and weeks, I stopped reaching out first. I stopped reaching out to these people first because I wanted to see which one of those people would keep investing into the friendship. And the ones who didn't reach out to me first, we just didn't hang out no more. And it was simple as that. Some friends that I've been hanging around for months and years, as soon as I stopped reaching out first, they never reached out first. We never hung out ever again. So you see how this thing works. So you see how this video is fundamental for the people who are in this position. They know that their friends are fake. They know that they have different interests or hobbies, but they're trying to get away from them and they just don't know how. Keep watching to the rest of the video. So after about a month, it was actually less than a month, it brought me down to just one friend. And when I met this friend, he was a completely different person. He was always the party type, right? He was always the crack and jokes type. He was always the street fight type, right? He would always go parties and drink and try to get as many girls as possible. The weird thing about it is that he was interested in the same things as me. He was interested in business and self-improvement, going to the gym, trying to get in a meaningful relationship, trying to retire his parents, all of these things, right? All of these things. And I did not know that he was that type of person. But as soon as I started talking about it, he opened up as well. And there were things I taught him that kind of helped his mindset and it helped him bring out his authentic self even more. So this might come to your surprise when the next time you talk about things that you are interested in, not what they are interested in, not trying to do what they want to do. Try to do what you want to do. Try to talk about what you want to talk about. And you might be surprised because some people might be more interested in the same things as you, more than you might think. And over a period of couple weeks and months, all the fake friends, they will go away. They'll stop texting you. you found different interests, you talk about different things, you don't really want to do the things they want to do, you don't really want to party, you want to go to the gym, especially when you sign up to a kickboxing gym, especially when you try to get a normal job, right? You don't want to be jobless, right? And just live off your parents for the rest of your life, right? Just hanging around, doing drugs, going to parties. You don't want to do that for the rest of your life. You want to get your life sorted out. You're trying to level up your income, you're trying to put your money into investments, you're trying to learn how to fight, you're trying to improve your looks. While you do all these things, and your friends are gonna keep typing away at you, trying to make you come outside and party with them, do whatever degenerate shit they want to do. And the more you decline that, the more you focus on yourself, the more you talk about things you want to talk about, they're just gonna fade away naturally. All of them do. All of them do. They're all fake, bro. Most of them are fake. I've had about 50 friends in my town. I knew every single one of them. 50 to 100 people I used to know. I used to party with them, hang out with them. And only one friend stayed. Men do not attract that which they want. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. And I'll see you in the next one.